Hello, I'm Rita, and I get to be here today, fortunately for me, with my great friend Janet Therese. She's an intuitive coach, my intuitive coach, that's supporting me. Today we're going to talk about money. Money, 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 money. So have a journal, get a pen, get a piece of paper, or however you want to take notes, and have some water handy, because everything is better when you're hydrated. We're going to focus on the patterns that prevent the flow of abundance and prosperity and how we can each clear them. One of the things that I learned is I was always reluctant to reach out to people that I thought more successful than I was until I became pretty successful and found I'm still not doing that. There's something deeper going on, and I need to find out about it and clear it. But I didn't know that initially. So that's the work that I've been able to move through. And in a bit, Janet's going to take us through what I call a clearing process. So stay tuned. So, Janet, tell us a little more about what you do.
Thank you, Rita. It's this is so good to be here with you and just so much fun, honestly, to hang out with my friends. I'm glad we're having this conversation. So I'm an intuitive and I'm a coach. And what I do is I help people clear those stories that prevent us from having joyful life experiences because these stories are just patterns of energy, whether they're fears or limiting beliefs or past traumas. They inform our experiences. They're all patterns of energy that are hanging out in our bodies and our energy field. So for instance, do you ever notice like the same stories playing out in your life with different people in different places? Kind of like central casting comes and sends all the players down, but at work you've got this story happening, at home you've got this story happening, or with your friends, and maybe it's the same story over and over, like Groundhog Day, because they're just patterns. And that's what I do is I help my clients clear these patterns so they have an easier time manifesting their best life.
So, money is heavily charged subject, I'm finding, for a lot of
Yeah.
people. Why is it so incredibly heavily charged?
Oh, because it's directly related to survival. It's a
Mm,
very root chakra issue. You know, you've got thoughts, emotions, all your beliefs about money, how you were raised, our parents' narrative
mhm.
about money, our own life experiences with money. And then there's collective consciousness because, you know, and right now we're kind of experiencing that again. There's a lot of fear out there around finances. Um, so yeah, I mean, that's what we're swimming in. It hits us on a very deep level of survival, you know. Am I going to be living in a shoebox in the middle of the road kind of thing? Like
Yeah.
Monty Python, my favorite sketch.
Yeah, yeah, under a bridge,
Yeah,
absolutely.
right.
So so let's think about it. Maybe if you could explain it from maybe an energetic perspective
Sure.
about how, how does the flow get blocked?
Yeah, okay, so let's back up a little bit. So we are electromagnetic beings that have a physical body and an energy body that surrounds and permeates the physical body, right? And this energetic body is electromagnetic. It's constantly emitting and receiving information. And you may sense this energy field around you when someone feels like they're standing a little too close. And we even use the words, you know, they're standing, they're in my space because they are, right? They're in your personal space. What's your personal space? It's your energy field. And when someone comes in to where it feels like it's a little too close, it's because they are in your space, literally. So, and this energy field is constantly emitting and receiving. We're all talking to each other on these energetic levels, just like cells in your body communicate with each other, like through cell signaling, right?
Mm,
And we are, back it up a little bit. and we are all cells in the same body of consciousness. We're all cells in the body of the oneness, the one consciousness, and we're all cells in the body of the planet. So the earth has this electromagnetic field, and we're all living within that electromagnetic field of the body. And so many of us are out of touch with that sense of being held by this earth's energy field because we're just living the most unnatural of lives, right? And we're broadcasting these stories to each other even if they're not in front of you. We're and this is where group consciousness comes in, and the fear about money and how it becomes contagious. Like road rage is contagious because we are all communicating what we are, not even in words. It's like that Emerson quote, who you are speaks so loudly I can't hear what you're saying, right?
Mm. That's that's so true. How many times it's like you kind of feel the person's energy long before they open their mouth. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes, you
So,
do.
so if somebody is, say, sharing an opportunity,
hmm
but they honestly believe with their heart it's something that this person wants to hear, they can still be subtly broadcasting lack, right?
Yes,
I won't
yes.
be successful. It's not going to be successful.
Right. And remember, money itself is just neutral. It's just energy. It's our thoughts, our emotions, our beliefs. They create all kinds of
Mhm.
stories about it. And I'm not trying to minimize money struggles. They're very real for so many. I've had the experience myself, but
Mhm.
emotions are so heavy and can prevent you from seeing solutions and prevent people from hearing what you're actually offering to them. So, if we can reframe how we view money and remove the stories from the idea of money itself, it becomes neutral and not so heavy. So, as you're creating your experience, it should be done from the perspective of your natural state, which is neutral presence. And that part of you that's a constant, this neutral presence is just awareness. It's just awareness of being. And it's constant and it's unchanging. And the more you recognize on a daily basis your natural state of being, the more you disengage or disidentify with these stories. So you step back behind the stories. You're not identifying, I am this thought, I am this emotion, I am this story about money. That's not who or what you are. You are neutral presence, that awareness. And when you disengage, then you can create your experience from that place and just feel into how does it feel to have all the wealth that you want? Because that's how you create, is going into the frequency of it, because the emotion is where the frequency lives, right?
Oh, that's beautiful. I could feel myself just relaxing listening to that.
Awesome.
That's you. It's so beautiful.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when I walk around the house and I have my glasses on my head, and I'm like, "Where's my glasses? Where's my glasses?" I'm like, "Oh, oh yeah, that's right." It's really just recognizing something that's already there, that's been there forever. It's who you are. You don't have to go and find it. It's always with you. It's just
Wow.
really more recognizing the thing that you're not, which is your thoughts and your stories and your emotions, right?
That's so beautiful. I can see a cartoon of that.
Where's my hand?
That's great. That's so great. So I'm curious, so many people are into affirmations. How effective really are they?
Oh, yeah, affirmations are great if you believe them. But let me give you an example. Your conscious mind, and of course, your soul thinks you're an amazing being of light and you're totally worthy of living an abundant and prosperous life. Uh, but your unconscious mind might be going, no, not so much. You're a sham. If everyone really knew, who you really are, then, and blah, blah, blah. We have all these things. I mean, it's such a common story, imposter syndrome, and such, especially such. Everybody's very creative. The unconscious mind is very creative about our blocks. So, fill in the blank for whatever your particular brand of fear is that you have going on. It's so much easier to clear what's in the way. And then affirmations work great because all the parts of you are on the same page, right? You're all facing in the same direction,
Mm,
you know?
that's amazing. That's so amazing.
So it's
So,
like if you say something like, I am a wealthy woman, and you feel this thing in your gut, and you feel the contraction in your energy field. That's how you know you got some work to do.
yeah, well, it's great that well, at least we have those signals, right?
Right. Oh,
So,
yeah.
how about let you want to take everybody through a process of clearing some money blocks?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, let's do that. Let's start with the fear. Okay. Everybody's got a fear, right? Um, think about now, regarding money, everybody's going to just say, I'm afraid I'm not going to have enough money. Yeah, whatever. No, the unconscious mind knows exactly what you're afraid of. So let's make it like really bad. I am afraid I'm not going to have enough money. So, okay, then what? What'll happen if you don't have enough money? Okay,
Oh,
I'll lose my house. Okay.
yeah.
And what'll happen if you lose your house? And what'll happen if that happens? And what'll happen if that happens? It usually ends up being I'll die alone and broke and whatever. Um, so really just follow it out to the end. Follow the story to the end.
Mm,
And, a lot of people who are into affirmations and new thought, they're always afraid to go to a negative place. But the only reason we're doing this is so we can clear the charge. We don't want to stay there. We don't want to ruminate. We don't want to, play in our poop. We just want to name it, and we're going to clear it out of there. Okay. So the next step is feel where it is in your body. Where's that contraction? Where's that charge sitting in your body? Right here?
mm,
Yeah. It's a common place for a lot of people. The gut. I've had people have it in their hands, in their
mm,
legs, because they feel like they want to run away. So just name, where is it in your body? And then what we're going to do is a very simple position. You're going to put one hand on your forehead, one hand on the back of your head, and we're going to just time for 3 minutes. And you're going to hold this position. Your hand on your forehead is hitting an awful lot of acupuncture meridians right there. And this is something that we do naturally anyway when we're stressed. We put our hand on our forehead. And sometimes you might want to move your head around. You might want to rotate it around, but just close your eyes and be present with that story. I'm afraid I won't have enough. Then this will happen. Then that'll happen. And just feel the charge in your body and allow it to move. Allow it to just move. Just be fully present with all the sensations. And you may feel energy clearing. You may feel stuff flying off of your head. Those who are sensitive that are listening to this, those who are meditators, you may know that feeling of, as you're sitting, that feeling of like shaking out a sheet before you lay it on the bed. That's how I like to describe it when I feel like my energy body has expanded and exhaled. You may find yourself yawning. If you need to switch hands, do that. That's fine. If you need to lean an elbow, just a little bit longer. Okay. Big deep breath, take a drink of water. Takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of hydration to move this energy too, because we're electromagnetic beings. So
Mm.
talk to me. What was your experience, Rita?
Wow. Well, mine is like you said, it sounds so crazy to even say, but it's like, you know,
Welcome to my world.
I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna lose everything and die alone in
Yeah.
pain. I mean, it's like this,
Oh, it can get so ugly. We're so creative.
it's so ugly. And then I saw myself on the beach in this place overlooking the ocean, and it just went, really? I get to live by the ocean? I love the ocean. I got
Yeah.
to live there early in my life, and it's like, I love the ocean. I mean, it was just like beautiful sunshine, shimmering water,
Yeah.
beautiful day, and it just went, this light just poured in, and I could feel it. I could feel that piece of me go,
Yeah. What if, right?
yeah,
We create these horrible stories, but and so many people use the words what if, what if this horrible thing happens? Well, what if it doesn't? What if
yeah,
you end up living on the ocean? Um, you
that was
know,
powerful.
yeah, yeah.
That was powerful because I haven't really thought about that living on the ocean. Very long time. So that was beautiful.
How does your chest feel?
Feels
Better?
light,
Good,
where there was something, it kind of feels open, more
good,
open. Yeah.
good. Well, that fear can really constrict.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And you can do this anytime you feel money fears come up. Where is
Mhm.
it in your body? Follow it out to the end. Or fears really about anything that comes up for you. For instance, what if you're traveling? You have to get on a plane. And, a lot of people are concerned about that
Yeah.
these days. And of course, fear of flying is real common. What if you have to communicate something to someone that makes you feel some fear? It might be your boss at work or maybe a relationship. And of course, communicating from a place of fear is never a good thing to do, right? You never want to hit send or submit when when you're in a place of fear. So it's always good to clean up your side of the street first. What is it? Lay it out, map it out. Where is it in the body? And try this. Now, I have several methods that I use, but that's just one that anyone can do anywhere, and it's simple and it works very often.
Well, that's the great thing is once you learn it,
Yeah.
my son calls and, sometimes there's a drama, that he's wanting to project onto me. And after the phone call, it's like, okay, I know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And for, the earthouts out there, and I know you're pretty empathic. Um, yeah, sometimes you just gotta take a big inhale and move everybody out, that's coming a little bit too close. And I
Yeah.
have actually a meditation on Spotify, on my Spotify channel that can help with that too. I work with a lot of empaths.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because I feel like I've cleared a lot of the money stuff,
Yeah.
but it today I went even deeper.
Oh, good.
So, I think that it's something that once you learn it, you can continue to work with it and go deeper and get more insights. I mean, while we've been working together, I get insights of, oh, here's another piece. It's like puzzle pieces are coming into view that were kind of blank spots, I guess, that I blocked from long time ago, in childhood or something. And they're like, oh, we could work with that.
Yes.
You have something to do with it now that is so gentle and so loving, and you kind of build your arsenal of things that you can do, which I think is so powerful.
I love that you said, gentle and loving, because that's your natural state, is gentle and loving awareness. Like Ram Dass says, I am loving awareness. That was his mantra toward the last years of his life. And um, I, I've noticed with myself and with my clients, the more you peel away all these things that are not you, the more you have awareness of you, your natural state of being. And then when something comes in or a fear comes up or something that is not that inherent peace and calm, your natural state of being, it's easier to spot and it's easier to catch it if you catch it quickly so that you can return to your natural state of being.
Mhm.
Just, peace, love,
Yeah,
rock and
that's
roll.
beautiful. Well, and when I think back to, when we started, it started with a conversation.
Mhm.
I love that you're open to having conversations with people. So I
Yes,
think anyone listening to this, um, I would, I would invite you have a conversation with Janet because that can lead to something that could open up an awful lot of places in yourself that could be holding you back from achieving what you want. I mean, right now is all about knowing what you want, focusing on what you want, releasing everything that's not you, and moving forward.
that's right.
So, if Janet, if they want to have a conversation with you, what would be the best way to contact you?
Oh, just go to my website and, go to the contact page and email me. Happy to set up 15 minutes with anyone who's curious about what I do and if it might be able to serve them in some way. I would love that. I would love to have that conversation.
And it's easy. It's janettherese.com.
That's right. Janet
So,
Treestock.
janettherese.com. And Janet, thank you. Thank you so much
Thank
for,
you. This is fun.
yeah, this is really, really fun. It's just too valuable not to share it with
Yeah.
everyone.
Well, thank you, my friend. And we will talk soon, I'm sure.
Absolutely.